Well, hello guys, it is Ken Lawson, Renaissance Man. I should say ladies, because that's more likely who is here, but I just say guys in the general sense of everybody. But I am today doing SOFIA ISELLA, doing the doll people. This got recommended a lot from people that went to watch the Paris Paloma labor video. And they were like, well, if you like this, or, if you are okay with this subject matter, you should go and watch The Doll People because it is a little more head on and just blatant. And I like head on and blatant. And I'll tell you now that with the Paris Paloma, I read every comment on labor, and there are good and bad. But I had grasped a lot of what the context was, but I've also read through all of the context that you've given in the comments there, so that will apply to this. So I have looked into the lyrics a little bit in this because it looks like the video is going to be very interesting. So I want to kind of break down the lyrics as we go because I do feel like they are very much along my this is very much along the way I look at how a lot of men treat women. It's a very stark, unflinching view of it. And it's unfortunate that this is as prevalent as it is. I am not one that supports the whole patriarchal, misogynistic side of things. And just being a man and being a part of that privilege does not mean that I support it. I don't. I would much rather see a lot more women in power than men, to be honest. Anyway, so we're going to jump into this, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. And it seems that musically people thought that I would really like this too. So let's go ahead and jump in. I did not expect piano for some reason.
The doll people are not men. They are made of ice and glass. Our skin is clay and painted blue. Our head can detach. We are statues with a pulse. We are art you can feel.
Ooh. Okay, we're gonna take there. She's saying so much in such a short time that I want to cover it kind of verse by verse, if you all are okay with that. Because the doll people are not men is obviously just saying that women are, to men, looked down upon. They're just dolls, something to play with. Our skin is clay and painted blue because they want to mold women into what they want them to be. And the painted blue could be black and blue because, let's face it, some people do that. Our head can detach would make me think that they don't really care if they have a brain or not. We are statues with a pulse. Just something pretty to look at that happens to be breathing and blood flowing through its veins. Hence we get to the we are art you can fuck, which is basically that to them they're not a person. They're just something pretty to look at that you can stick your dick in. That's what it comes down to. Okay, let me go on. Every single line in this so far is something to take apart. So I hope you all don't mind that that's what I'm doing, because I think it's important that these kind of things are called out.
We are art you can feel.
And I love that dun hit right on that.
The doll people are quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret. interpret itself. There are men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs.
Wow.
We are art you can find.
I mean, it's still basically saying they're just something to be a...
Drink the dolls like spread,
Oh.
like better be your wife or mistress, maid, mother, the beauty and the buyer. Take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does.
Wow. Boy, just spitting facts, right? Of some men's view of this. Not all men, as a lot of people in my labor comments would have you believe. It's not all men, but more than it should be for sure. So this drink the dolls, and not really following it, but legs spread like butter. That's obvious. And I really like the, what's interesting to me is that this is just piano and her. I did not expect that, but the piano playing is so dynamic and accentuating what the words are saying, and then not really seeing her face. We're just seeing the angst of the performance, and that, you know, she's nondescript in a way, that she's just a representation. And that's how a lot of men see women, is that who they are and their face and their, you know, other than they want a pretty face, is just irrelevant to what they want out of it. But this line, yeah, we're a wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. But this line coming up, the beauty and the buyer, take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much hotter than one that does, just plays into the whole rapey vibes of wanting to be able to dominate and take a woman rather than her wanting it. Because if she wants it, it takes away some of the domination of it. It's really, it's just sick. But, you know, it's just sick. Ooh, I love that with the extra reverb as a refrain. Ooh, wow. Ooh.
So they say you can never trust the art these days. To be admired takes precedence over admiring. To be desired takes importance over desiring. Drink the dolls like spread.
Okay, I'll get into that in a second after. God, the movements in here are so interesting. I'll have to look and see if this is actually her. Okay, I want to go back before we get into another section, because it repeated the chorus. But this section in here, the doll people are alive, or so they say. It's like saying that a woman can tell you that she's more than just something you can fuck, but that's just women talking, you know? It's not actually anything important from their point of view.
Never trust the art these days. To be admired takes precedence.
And you know that you can never trust the art these days almost feels like a repudiation of the Me Too movement, saying, yeah, they can say that happened, but they're probably lying. And of course, you don't get me started on what we have going on right now, because, yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but I am totally against it. To be admired takes precedence over admiring, and to be desired takes importance over desiring. Basically means that they're having to put the man ahead of their own desires and things and just live, mold themselves into what it is that the man is looking for. And not saying that that's how it should be. It's just that so often that's what some women do in order to gain, a place. It may not be right, but it happens. But yeah, I definitely want to see if this is actually her or a model that they hired for this. Because it doesn't need, okay. Oh, I love where that went. I want to let this play out before I go back to the lyrics. Her delivery there gave me chills. Because, if you didn't read at the beginning, I also produce music and everything. And one of my favorite things is working with vocalists. And the delivery she had in those held notes, and then the way she ended with the... it's just one of those things I can picture it being recorded. And, the letting herself go in that moment, I can just picture it in my head. And it would have been one of those moments where when I clicked stop on the record button, it would have been like, holy shit, that was it. That was powerful. Yeah, let me see what these lyrics were, because
The beauty in the buyer, take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Paint popping off of us like rockets. Stop trying to...
Okay, the paint popping off of us like rockets don't get so much, but that's okay. So far, it's the only line that doesn't really jump out, unless the paint that they're talking about is the makeup and the way they doll themselves up to be desirable. And then we've got stepped right out of a fantasy, the words still stuck in our pockets. It's almost like the fantasy is what they made themselves up to be, but whatever they would have to say is irrelevant, and so they keep it tucked away. They don't say anything. The beauty and the buyer take the screen, and then we're back to the, whole thing there. But yeah, and of course, when I'm saying that this, think what she's doing is she's pointing out that this is unfortunately what some women feel they have to do to get where they want to be. And, doesn't make it right, but it's an unfortunate reality. Let's go ahead and get back into it. I'm sorry that I'm pausing so much, but there's so much to talk about. And if we can't talk about these things, what's the point of her making this song? If not to spur conversation or spur thought, not just to convey what women feel and the way they're perceived, but to make men understand that that's what they're doing. So if you're not trying to convey that, then what's, and I'm not saying the whole point of making the song is to make it to where men understand something. No, it's to give a voice to the women that this is targeting. And maybe it gets through to some of those that do these behaviors, or feel that they have to. Who knows? But either way, it's still an important song. And I really love this production on this. I mean, we've added in some strings with the piano, But man, this vocal part, I would have loved to have seen her record this. It's so organic. Just love that part right there. And then dropping it down to the...
The doll people are gone.
Ooh.
They don't know what happened. They looked under her skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots. They banged their head on the wall. They fucked the yard on that afternoon.
Oh, I love the whisper here.
The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon. White horse.
Ooh. And what I think that they're saying here, yeah, doll people are gone. So they had a doll, something to play with. And now that they've had it and played with it, it's just like anyone playing with a toy. It's only fun until the next toy comes along, or until you get bored with it, and then it's like, okay, now I need a new toy. And it says, the doll people are gone. They don't know what happened. And it's like, well, you made this happen. They looked under our skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots. It's because it's no longer that fresh new thing that they wanted. The virgin-y experience. That's why taking it from a woman is better than it being given, because they want that virtue. And then once they've had it, then that novelty wears off. And now it's decaying on the vine, as it were, for them. They bang their head on the wall. They fuck the art on that afternoon. Dolls are off running and laughing together. So basically, it's like once they tire of them, and it really, I know this is very topical and all that, but it's very Epstein. I mean, this sounds like it could have been written about Epstein, in that once girls aged out, he just passed them along to his friends because he didn't want them anymore if they weren't young and fresh. And now, unfortunately, once he passed them along to her friends, it's not like here, where once he was done with them, they were able to go off together and be free of the men, and hopefully in a more fantasy place where women are more free to just be themselves. Okay, let me go back because I want to hear her delivery through here. I love this piano part and her delivery.
They don't know what happened. They looked under her skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots. They banged their head.
Boy, her
on the
delivery
wall.
is awesome.
They fucked the yard on that afternoon. The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon. Wife or mistress maid.
I'll have to look up Milk of the Moon and see if there's a distinct thing. Read the comments if you haven't been in the written on screen. Ooh, I love how she's down to just a whisper. Ooh. Ooh, I got a chill right then too, because that was awesomely done. Boy, talk about conveying what it is you're trying to convey in the moment. That was amazing. And the arrangement of it, you could see this as just a singer with dancers around doing a very dark contemporary dance to this number. And I imagine it would be amazing. Okay. All right, guys. So that is the Doll People. It was a totally different feel of a song than I expected. I think I expected more instrumentation, but I like that they stripped it back to just piano and her. And it really just made it feel uncomfortable and personal. So really good job on that. And the directing of the video was perfect because it kept it in tight on her. It never really, it didn't try to be sexy or anything. It just tried to be angst, the angst of the situation, and convey that rather than try to draw an audience by being like, oh, here's a sexy woman doing this, because that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is to convey the the struggle and the angst of the situation. So really cool, and making it a nondescript person that could be representative of, all women that have that feeling. But anyway, hopefully this was a good reaction. I appreciate all of y'all coming here that did, and I hope to see you again. I may look into more of her stuff because that was really, really intriguing. And I can't wait to see if there's something more. So tell me what the next video should be from her. I don't know how many I'll be able to do because I have so many artists I do already. But I can maybe pick a few here and there. All right. For now, you guys have a great day, great night, great life. Bye.